There always has to be a first. Someone who will break through the limitations set on them by society. Someone who will help fuel the passion of their supporters and inspire others to follow in their footsteps. Someone who will push to the top, knowing that they will be able to extend a hand to those following them. Retired Brigadier General Deborah Rose was the first female general for the Kansas National Guard, and her leadership still inspires airmen and soldiers across the Kansas National Guard today. Deborah S. Rose was born on December 9, 1950, as the fourth child to two farmers, Frank and Irene Moeller. She lived and attended school in Overbrook, Kansas, until she graduated from high school. She briefly attended McPherson College, though her real aim was to join the Air Force. It turned out fate had a different path for her.
Unfortunately, I was 10 pounds, or maybe it was fortunate. I was 10 pounds overweight and I couldn't join the Air Force. So instead, I found me an airman. My husband was an airman stationed at Forbes Air Force Base. Began our entry into the Air National Guard.
The Air Force didn't happen at that time, but sitting idle was never an option for General Rose. She was determined to grow and better herself. She studied at Washburn University and got her degree in nursing. She later reapplied to the Air Force and was commissioned as a nurse with the 184th, where she started tackling challenges.
The 184th had no nurses. So there were three of us that were brand new butter bars, and we all joined fairly close together, and that's when I became affiliated with the 184th. And so we all had to learn what the three of us had to divvy up all the responsibilities of the nurse corps. And so mine was the immunization clinic. And I must have done a fairly decent job at giving immunizations because later one of the pilots from the 184th became the commander at the 190th Air Refueling Wing, Colonel Dwayne Ellingson. And he was very important to my career.
In December of 1985, the 190th had an opening in the Nurse Corps, and General Rose jumped at the opportunity. She excelled in her new job and was tasked with supporting the ongoing mission in Saudi Arabia.
My experience in Saudi Arabia was that of being an American woman who had never had limitations on driving a car, what I would wear, where I could go. Outside of the base or off of your compound, then you were required to wear the black abaya. The other requirement was we weren't allowed to drive. So if we wanted to go somewhere, we either had to find a guy who would take us in his rental car. In order to evacuate patients that we had to take them in the ambulance to the flight line. And we were finally able to get some of our female drivers the ability to drive onto the base.
It wasn't long before General Rose caught leadership's eye. They approached her and asked her to leave the Nurse Corps and become a line officer to further her career. They placed her in services where her first task was handling an inspection from the Guard Bureau.
Although I knew nothing about services flight, it gave me the opportunity to kind of prove my leadership style. What I did find is the enlisted people within the organization were wonderful. I mean, they were awesome. They taught me all I needed to know. We all worked together. We would meet every week at night and strategize what we were going to do for our operational readiness inspection, and we did well. We did very well.
This impressed leadership, and they began relying heavily on her talents as a leader. They asked her to be commander of the maintenance squadron, where she helped evolve it into the standard setting unit it is today.
One of the areas of aircraft maintenance is quality assurance. And quality assurance is very important because that talks about doing our job on the aircraft per a tech order and knowing that it's completed and that the aircraft is safe. But I felt like that was one of the most critical issues that we had to deal with. You know, sometimes it's easy to get kind of lackadaisical about, not exactly pulling the book out and following the rules. But in this situation where we're dealing with millions of dollars of aircraft and the people that are in it, it's critical to the mission that we follow the rules. And so I think that maybe one of the things that I might be known for is that if I found out about it, it wouldn't go well.
General Rose would move on to be the Vice Wing Commander at the 190th Air Refueling Wing and was later selected to be the first female general for the Kansas National Guard. This selection opened up opportunities for female soldiers and airmen, and her work will continue to influence the future.
Believe that those opportunities would come my way. There was no guarantee. I did verbalize the fact that I wanted to be the first colonel and the first brigadier general female in the Kansas National Guard, but in no way did I demand that. I just wanted the opportunity to be able to compete, and the leaders that have been within my chain of command have been completely open to that, and I guess I really credit those officers who gave me the opportunity to just show what I could do. And so while I didn't know when I started that's where I was going, I just always believed that if I was given the opportunity that I'd be able to succeed.
In 2011, General Rose retired but didn't settle for a simple retirement. She has been an active member in veteran communities, in her church, and wherever she sees a need. Even with her busy schedule, she still finds time to follow her one true passion.
Oh, I love being retired. I've yet to figure out how I ever had time to work. So I'm loving what I'm doing. My passion is golf. I am so blessed to be able to play golf. I've had some health issues within the last 5 years, and none of it's been able to keep me down. So on at least Tuesdays and Thursdays, you'll see me out at the golf course, weather permitting.
General Rose has found herself in a unique position as the first female general of the Kansas National Guard, and she has one piece of advice to give airmen and soldiers alike.
We need to be supportive of each other and not tear each other down. That's the most critical thing, I think, throughout our entire organization. We need to be supportive of each other, no matter your gender, no matter your race, no matter whether you're a city person or a country person, rural or urban. It's important that we support each other and help, not tear down.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome our next inductee into the Kansas National Guard Hall of Fame, retired Brigadier General Deborah Sue Rose.